I'd like to talk to you about the Lumina Spark quality of taking charge versus that of intimate. Takes charge is one of the three Lumina Spark qualities in extroversion, and intimate is one of the three qualities in introversion. And extroversion and introversion were terms coined by Jung in the 1920s and adopted and used by most of the big five models nowadays. If we like to take charge, it means that we're quite a persuasive individual. We're quite convincing, particularly with groups of people. It also means that we like to grab hold of responsibility and take responsibility for things, particularly when other people are concerned. And it also means, thirdly, that we can be quite assertive. We can convey things in a bold and assertive manner. If, on the other hand, we have intimate high, we tend to actually like to listen naturally to other people. So rather than advocating a perspective, we tend to listen first and connect with others through hearing them out. This tends to give us a low key approach, and we're less likely to want to operate at a larger group level. If we're managing, we'll enjoy having one-on-ones with people, going for a tea, going for a coffee, listening to them, enjoying a one-on-one and connecting at a more intimate level. If I can share an example with you in my own experience, many years ago I did a master's in humanistic psychology, and I recall being observed for a couple of days running a pretend company making cards, and my job was to fold the cards on the production line at the sort of lowest level of a team of 20, and we were being observed by psychologists. At the end of the couple of days there was a huge debriefing and lots of feedback, and someone said, well, Stuart did a really good job, coordinating the marketing and liaising with the outside markets and talking back into the factory. And then someone else said, just a minute, that wasn't his job. He had a job on the production line. Who gave him that job? There were procedures to get promoted. Did he go through the procedures? And they looked back and said, no, he didn't. What happened? Well, he seemed to just take over. He started talking to people, engaging with people. One thing led to another, and he took charge. And that's what happens if we're quite extroverted and we talk to people and we engage. We notice where the power lines are. And my favourite moment of that experience was at the end of the debrief. One of the therapists said to me, Stuart, I need to talk to you about your relationship with power. If I was to frame that positively, it's about influence. I like to have influence, I like to have power, and that's an important part of the takes charge quality. If I could also relate this to an example I had when I took a team over many years ago and went into a new situation where there were many staff who didn't know me, but I needed to figure out what was going on. I asked the team, so how often do you meet? What's the team meeting structure? And they said, well, we meet once a year when it's sort of Christmas. I said, well, is there not any other structure? No, because the previous manager liked to connect with everybody one-on-one, have a tea or coffee with them, and was very connected to people individually. But because they were more introverted and they liked to create intimacy with their staff in one-on-ones, they didn't meet as often on a group basis. And I contrast that with a previous role I had, where I can recall at one time wanting 3 team meetings a week. The meeting on a Monday was operational, the one on Wednesday was to review the strategy, and the one on Friday, well, we clearly needed to sort of look at the team building and the connection and how we were developing. And I probably, in those early days, overplayed my takes charge by wanting to work at a group level. So the key thing here is really effective leaders. They know how to take charge and be assertive and be persuasive and grab hold of the power lines, but actually they also know how to create intimacy, how to listen to other people, how to not naturally advocate but hear other people out first, and how to be more connected at a one-on-one. Have you got any examples? Can you think when you've taken charge or when you've created intimacy? Have you got any interesting stories? Have a think about that now.